Next speaker, Dr. Kalyan Sundar, is a pediatric cardiologist from Kupuswamy Medical Center, Coimbatore. I request Dr. Kalyan Sundar to give a talk on transcatheter closure of PDAs and unusual PDAs.
Good evening to everybody. So my topic is about transcatheter closure of PDA. It's method for basics, the basics of transcatheter closure. It is intended for the freshers who are to start this procedure. So this is my topic. So that incidence of PDA, if you take the literature, the incidence of clinically detected PDAs are 1 in 2000. And of course, if you screen it, and the PDA is supposed to be more than actually it is detectable. So it appears to be 1 in 5000 LIBOR. That means undetectable, clinically undetectable murmurs, the small PDAs, sometimes PDA which is posteriorly connected. This murmur may be very silent, may miss it often. So if it is if you do echo, the problem if you pick up more PDA than the clinically detectable PDAs. That is only there is four times. That is in case of echo wise, you can pick it up as 4 in 2000, and for clinically only 1 in 2000. That means a lot of PDAs which are not being detected and moving around. So overview of PDAs. Almost all PDAs can be closed by transcatheter method, and very small children, like newborn, with heart failure, needs a surgical closure. We need to know the anatomy better before taking up the child for the device closure or coil closure, because we have to plan. We have to choose the right type of implants, either coil or device means various devices. And another thing is important is pulmonary artery pressure. You are supposed to know the pressure when you are doing before starting a closure, because otherwise, it is easy to take the right type of devices. Coming to classification of the PDA, it's Kitchen et al. They classified based on the angiographic pictures into 5 categories. In that, type A is called conical type, which is you can see here. It's ampulla is called aortic end of the duct is called ampulla, which is usually dilated, larger, and pulmonary end is usually duct. We call it duct. So ampulla is larger in the ampulla is larger, and constricted portion of the PDAs in the pulmonary end. Then it looks like conical shape. It's called conical type or type A ductus PDA, and type B is called window type, because the PDA length is almost very small or negligible. So it is like a window. So there is no ampulla as such. It's just a small like AP window, like AP window. There's no significant duct length. And type C is called tubular PDA, which is here also there's no as of PDA ampulla there is a aortic end of the PDA is almost same like as a pulmonary end. So like tube, there's no significant size of ampulla here. And type D is called complex ductus arteriosus. That's multiple constriction. Maybe here both ends of the constriction, or maybe in middle of that one. So this type of PDA, if you then it will be challenging for you closure, choosing the type of device. Under the E, type E is called elongated, which is almost like type A. The difference is normally the PDA aortic end is just behind the trachea. They is posted to the tracheal shadow, and the pulmonary end of the duct is just anterior to the tracheal shadow. But here it's far away from this anterior end is far away from the anterior end of the tracheal shadow. So this is called type E. So because these are a broad classification. Of course, if you see 100 PDAs of pictures, 100 PDAs will be different from each other. So none of the PDAs will be same in size and shape and morphology. So this is for broad classification for the choosing your type of device. Of course, PDA, which is PDA, transcatheter closure PDA started in 1967 by Portsman et al. They used conical Ivulon plaque, and subsequently Rashkin and Kiyasko used the umbrella type of device in 1979 because these were
your PDA will be filled nicely. If you do in arch, what will happen? There will be confusion of identifying the ampulla. And post deployment, probably you can do at the level of the PDA to see coarctation, anything is there in small babies. So don't deliver at the level of the arch in the beginning.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kalyan Sundar. I think one more thing I would add to the hardware is the availability of a snare, because in very rare cases you are not able to cross through the venous side. So there have been instances when we have crossed from the arterial side and then snared it out and created an arteriovenous loop and then taken the sheath through the vein.
This happened in adult patients.
Yes.
It's adult.
All adult patients, I think, better to prepare mentally to snare the thing. You may be able to cross it, but tortuosity and posterior insertion is very common.
Thank you, Dr. Kalyan Sundar.